Hello, welcome to Guidancy Education channel. We are continuing chapter 1 Electric Charge and Fields under class 12 Physics. Now we will see the topics. The topics are electric flux through plane surface, factors affecting electric flux, formula for electric flux through curved surface, unit of electric flux, and dimensional formula of electric flux. This video will be of great use to you, so watch the video completely without skipping. And if you think the video is really useful, do not forget to like the video, share the video with your friends who may also be benefited, and also leave your comments in the comment box below. Also subscribe my channel and also press the bell button so that you get intimated as soon as videos are posted. The description box contains the details of the video. Do not forget to see that. Okay, thank you. So the topic is electric flux. The symbol is phi. Now, electric flux is a scalar quantity. It has only magnitude. But before we start the video, let me first explain the meaning of the word flux. Flux means flow of fluid over a surface or through a surface. That is, the amount of fluid flowing across the area or along the area. In the case of electric flux, there is no physical quantity flowing. It is only the field in an area. But before going into the details of electric flux, let us take the example of water and explain what flux is. If we want to collect water from a tap, we have to keep the container right under the tap. The open end of the vessel, that is the area through which water has to enter, should be wide enough to accommodate the stream of water. If the mouth of the vessel is narrow, then some amount of water may not enter the vessel, it will flow outside the vessel. So the amount of water collected in the vessel, that is the flux of water, will depend upon the magnitude of the area which it has to cross. Now, can you say what flux is? Here it is the amount of water crossing that surface area. So flux depends on area. Is there any other factor? The vessel should be directly under the tap. That is orientation of the vessel. This is the normal to the plane surface through which water has to enter. And this is the direction of flow of water. These two directions are parallel to each other. So flux of water, that is the quantity of water crossing the area, is maximum. So one factor which decides flux is magnitude of area, and the other is the direction of the normal to the plane surface, which is called area vector. Now let us see what happens when the vessel is kept tilted at an angle to direction of flow of water. It is not directly under the tap. See the area vector to this open plane surface. The direction of water is the same as in the previous case. If we extrapolate the area vector to meet the direction of flow of water, then there will be an angle between the two. Let us call it theta. The area vector and the direction of flow of water are not parallel to each other. Only a small amount of water gets collected in the vessel. Part of the stream of water flowing from the tap is really flowing outside the vessel. So the flux of water crossing this area will be much less. Let us see how we can calculate flux. For that, let us consider the velocity of water. Let it be equal to V. Let us represent the volume flowing during unit time be equal to V. Please note the difference in the way in which I have represented V. So V is the volume of water crossing unit area in unit interval of time, that is per second. But here we have considered a certain area which we may represent as ds. Then the rate of flow of water across the area will be given by V ds. Okay. Volume of water flowing is proportional to velocity. So instead of volume, we can use velocity. Velocity into ds. But velocity is a vector and ds also has area vector. So flux is really the product of two vectors. But flux is a scalar quantity. So we have to see the dot product of these two vectors. That is V dot ds equal to V ds cos theta. For the first diagram, the two vectors are parallel. Therefore, theta is equal to 0. But for the second diagram, the projection of area vector to velocity bears a small angle. Okay. So for the first case, it is V ds cos 0 which is equal to V ds because cos 0 is equal to 1. It is maximum. I will mark the diagrams 1 and 2. For the second case, it is V ds cos theta. Theta has some value. Flux for the first case, V ds, will be greater than the flux for second case, which is V ds cos theta. What is the reason for the reduction in flux in the second case? It is because of the difference in the orientation of the surface associated with the flux. In general, we may represent the flux of water phi w is equal to V ds cos theta, where theta is the angle between the velocity and the area vector. I shall cite one more example. To collect water from a flowing river, we keep mouth of the vessel parallel to the direction of flow of water. So area vector is a very important factor deciding flux. Now we can apply this to electric flux. We have understood the meaning of the word flux. Now we will pass on to electric flux. Please remember that in the case of electric flux, no physical quantity is flowing through the surface. Please remember that point. Okay. Now let us discuss electric flux through a plane surface. Consider a uniform electric field. You find the field lines are spaced equally. That is, the distance between each field line is the same. What does that mean? It means that in that area, the magnitude and direction of the electric field is same throughout. That is what you mean by uniform electric field. Consider a plane surface in the electric field and perpendicular to the direction of the electric field. This is the direction of the electric field and this is the direction of area vector. Area vector, as you know, is a perpendicular drawn to the surface. Electric field and area vector, they are parallel to each other. Applying the same formula, we can find out the electric flux in that area as equal to E dot ds. Remember, flux is a scalar quantity, hence dot product. Electric flux is proportional to electric field. ds corresponds to this area. I will note flux is a scalar quantity. So electric flux is equal to E ds cos theta, where theta is the angle between electric field and area vector. That is the projection of area vector to electric field. Here theta is equal to 0, so this becomes E ds because cos theta becomes cos 0 is equal to 1. Now let us see what happens when the area vector is at an angle to the direction of electric field. This is the electric field direction and this is the area vector. The plane surface is not kept perpendicular, so the projection of the area vector to the electric field makes an angle equal to theta. Some field lines are not passing through the area. that is the flux is less. Electric flux is equal to E ds cos theta. Theta is not equal to 0. It has some magnitude. This is diagram 1 and this is diagram 2. We will mark this as electric flux 1 for diagram 1 and this one electric flux for diagram 2. Which is greater? Electric flux 1 is greater than electric flux 2. Now we will directly pass on to electric flux through curved surface. Now we will discuss electric flux on a curved surface. Let us consider a curved surface placed in a uniform electric field. We know the formula for calculating electric flux on plane surface. It is E dot ds, but here it is curved surface. So direction of the area vector will be different at different spots on the curved surface. So this formula cannot be used directly. Instead, the curved surface is assumed to be made up of large number of plane surfaces. Electric flux for each such small minute plane elements are calculated and then their total is taken. Let the number of such plane surface elements in the curved surface be equal to n. We will mark out the direction of electric field. If the electric field is wider, then all the electric field lines will not pass through the curved surface. But here the electric field area is less, so all the field lines pass through the surface. Electric flux is equal to E dot ds. But ds, the curved surface, is made up of n number of plane surfaces. ds1, ds2, etc. up to dsn. So total electric flux on the curved surface can be represented as flux total equal to E dot ds1 plus E dot ds2 up to E dot dsn. Okay, this can be written as sigma E dot dsi, where the limit of I is equal to 1 to n. But E dot ds is equal to E ds cos theta. So this equation becomes sigma E ds I cos theta, where the limit of I is equal to 1 to n. So this is the expression for electric flux on a curved surface. Let me mark electric field and area vector as vectors. For each ds element, the electric field direction can be taken as same because ds tends to be 0. It is so small. Now we will see the dimensional formula and unit of electric flux. The unit of electric flux is equal to unit of electric field into unit of area. Unit of electric field is Newton per coulomb into unit of area, namely meter square. This becomes equal to n per coulomb meter square. That is n meter square per coulomb. This is the unit of electric flux. Now we can easily write the dimensional formula for electric flux. N is the unit of force. F is equal to m L T raised to minus 2. Dimensional formula for area L raised to 2. Per coulomb is equal to ampere A into T raised to minus 1. Combining all these, we get m L raised to 3, T raised to minus 3, A raised to minus 1. This is the dimension formula for electric flux. I hope this video was of great use to you. We will meet in the next video with another important topic. Thank you very much.